After successfully raising 3 children through the 90s and 2000s, we had a fourth child who just didn't get to come camp and ride with us as much as our first three. We ended up selling all of our camping stuff, our large fifth wheel, my truck that I used to tow it with. And I decided in 2017, as Colby was about 7 years old, that we are going to camp and ride. And here we are designing this camper in a restaurant in Barstow, California, before heading to Harbor Freight to buy the smallest, cheapest trailer we could afford at the time. I put it together in our living room, eventually rolled it out to the garage, where we finished the install of the axles, the hubs, and the wheels. I welded up some of the seams that were just bolted together that I thought would be a lot stronger for towing, like the tongue and some of the corners. Worked late into the night. Once we got that done, I flipped it over to test drive it, just to see how it towed. And it towed great. Here I am contemplating changes and upgrades. I had no plan for this camper. We were just going to build it. Here I am removing the small stock tires and putting on some wheel hub adapters to accommodate a much larger tire. I went with a 30-inch Falken AT. I felt it would give us a ground clearance to go where we needed, plus it just kind of looked cool. And it too towed really well. Here I am working on a 3/4 inch piece of oak plywood that we're going to use as the floor. I'm covering it with a Herculiner bed liner. It's waterproof and durable. I figured if it lasted a few years, it'd be great. This is the bottom. Now this is the top. I carriage bolted it to the frame. And of course we tested it out. Here's the bottom with the Herculiner. Here's the top. Now, time to build some walls. We ended up bolting those walls right through the oak plywood and through the frame. Again, just building as we decided. No plans. We figured we'd bump the front out to give us kind of a kitchen area. We built it as high as we could to just fit in the garage. The bump out on top does have an intention, which you'll see coming up. And here's another new day where we are going to work all day. These were windows I found online for $29. And here I am reinforcing the roof. I wanted to be able to walk on that roof with my 230 pounds, and it was just fine. I wanted AC. I wanted to have a sanctuary. I wanted to be able to go inside and can be completely cool. So we bought this little 110 unit. Here I am contemplating some more changes, of course. And Colby's playing with it. I told him right here, I don't see Fisher-Price anywhere on this thing. I then began to build out the bump out the back to house the AC and also make cabinets for clothing and other things. Again, no plan, I just kind of built it as I went. Starting to look a little bit like a camper inside. The roof was pretty straightforward and very strong. We did end up adding a vent, which you'll see in a minute. Here I am testing the air conditioner. 68 degrees. This was going to be the access to shore power or a generator. I cut the end off this extension cord and I ran it through the walls to a couple different plug areas. One would feed the air conditioner and one would feed a battery charger. And you could just pull this cord out and plug it into a generator or shore power or your house outlet, and it would run the whole camper. That's what I used for the air conditioner. It had its own little breaker box. Another good day of building. Went ahead and got the vent in. Got all the wiring done. Time for some interior paneling. I got these panels at Lowe's. They were pretty cheap. And this insulation I found in the attic of a rental, and the landlord said I could use it. So we cut it up, stuck it in there. These were the first panels that I was going to use to finish the interior by the front bump out. I even let Kobe get in on insulating a little bit. Here I am contemplating more changes. What's going to go where, how we're going to finish it. I did like those panels, and look at how well that came out. I'm currently building another camper, and I think I'm going to use those same panels. They were so easy to work with, and they just came out beautiful. I wanted one cooktop in there, so I used this propane tank and this camp burner. I did test to make sure it wasn't too hot above it, and I even added an exhaust fan, which you'll see in a minute. This was going to be the one main control panel that would control all of the lights, a couple fans, and you could charge all your goodies. And there's the lights. I put the lights on the outside of the ceiling so we had room to make a bed for Colby in the middle. And of course, you get hungry when you're working. Here's my original cabinet design. I ended up changing that out in a minute, as you'll see. This is an exhaust fan. When I would cook, I would turn it on and it would pull all the heat up and out and go right out of that vent you just saw me close on the ceiling. Here I am building the door for the back lower cabinet that we are going to put supplies in. I just used some simple magnets and those little metal things. We hot glued them to the doors, put them on the hinges, and they worked out pretty good. Every now and then you'd find one open after driving. So there's the finished front cabinet door. I wanted to match the rear, and it looks so good, doesn't it? It was cheap and easy to build, and then I went ahead and trimmed out the top the same way. So you had shiny on the bottom, shiny on the top. In the bottom of that cabinet, we kept a heater, a shower, and then the left side was electrical for the AC. In the front, we had the extension cord on the left, the gel battery to the right of that, supplies and dishes to the right of that, and then the far right is the propane tank, of course. And there's the finished cabinet. We would just ram our clothes in there. I made them so they had a lip on the end, so you could stuff a bunch of clothes in there and they rarely fell out when you traveled. This is a 750 watt heater that I used, and it worked well. We had a 1100 watt generator that we would start up as the night would fall, and if it was cold, we just let the heater run. We worked on this thing pretty much every weekend for 6 months, so we got to know the pizza delivery people pretty well. Here's a bed system that I designed that would bolt to the studs in the walls, and I would use dowels in different heights so we could make a table, a bed, or a storage area. I just wood screwed them right to the studs in the walls. Here he is trying out his bed. This isn't the finished bed, just a piece of wood to see if it would work. The lower holes would be a table. The next holes up would be his bed, and the top holes would be where we store it while we're hanging out in the camper, so we have a high ceiling. This is a 1/2-inch gym mat that I bought in puzzle pieces, and this served as a pretty good floor covering. Easy to clean. You could take it out, clean the floor. I just used some 1x and some really cheap project wood to build the bed. It had to collapse so that we could turn it into a table, open it up as a bed, or put it up high for storage. I ended up cutting some little notches in the bottom of the bed frame where it rested on the dowels, so the bed could not move at all. Here's where you can compact it and turn it into a table. But I think this is the only time we ever used it. I don't think we ever used it again when we camped as a table. Electrical's working good. This is my sleeping fan for nighttime. We would run the generator at dusk until we went to bed, and it would charge that battery, and then the battery would last all day if you were running tablets, fans, or any lights. In fact, in the 5 years, we never ran that little gel battery out of juice, ever. I put a couple important things right near the front door in case we needed to get to them quickly, like a first aid box. I felt since we had fire inside of the kitchen, I should have some kind of fire extinguisher where I could just grab it when I needed it. Here I am cutting out the hole for a rocker switch to turn on the exhaust fan. I ended up burying the wires in there, and there's the fan working. Worked perfectly. This is a little gadget holder where we were going to end up putting our phones, keys, electronics that need to be charged, because that panel had a bunch of USB chargers. And here it is, part of the way done. Again, close to the front door so we could reach in and grab stuff, if it was keys or a phone or just to plug something in. This exterior was a challenge. I'm no body man. I sanded the heck out of this thing to try to get the best finish I could. Instead of aluminum or fiberglass, I was going to go with what worked on the bottom. I figured I would do some kind of liner I could paint on. That way, if it ever needed repairs, you could just sand it and paint it again. I ended up finding this product called Durabac 18. And it's used for docks. It's used for boat decks. Waterproof, and it has a UV protectant. Although it was really hard to work with. This is just one coat where it's nearly see-through. I ended up doing 2 coats of the textured and 1 coat non-textured, just to cover the wood. But you'll see in a minute that it actually came out very, very clean looking. I forgot to mention, it was a disaster to work with. It just spit product everywhere, dripped everywhere. And it wasn't cheap, at about 80 bucks a gallon. And we went through some gallons. All in all, the finish came out very clean. I was very happy with it. And over 5 years of using it, it rained a bunch. We spent many nights in there when the rain was pouring down constantly, and it never leaked one bit. And here it is, starting to look clean on the outside. I added these lights too. I ended up putting lights all the way around the thing. And these were bright on that little battery. Look at that. Although we're not camping, it was fun for Kobe to go in and play video games and just hang out in there. These windows worked out good. Not the prettiest things on earth, but they worked great. I ended up tinting them to keep the sun from coming in. And anytime there was a slight breeze, you could crack the windows and get a really good cross breeze in there for some fresh air. I found this door on eBay. This is an actual small RV door. It wasn't cheap. I think it was just under 400 bucks at the time. But I didn't want some cheap junk I would make out of a piece of wood. This thing worked great. This is just a register cover that I bought and cut to fit over the exhaust for the air conditioning. Here we are on our first trip to go try it out. No quads, no dirt bikes. We're just going to tow it around and go camp up in the desert. Only about 8 miles from our house. But we tested the stove, cooked some chili dogs, just had a great time. And I remember as my son was eating, he said, "Dad, this is probably the best night of my life." And here he is, in his bed. I ended up putting fenders on it, and I also ended up painting a black strip around the bottom, because I just felt it looked a little too clean. And again, we ended up camping in this thing for almost 5 years. And at one point, my daughter expressed interest in camping as well. She was still living at home. I ended up swapping out to bigger axles so I would not have to use the hub adapters for the big wheels and tires. So I bought the axle online, we fabbed it in there. And then I had a friend of mine who's a much better welder than me make a whole new tongue, because that stock tongue actually started to bend a little bit. He did a great job here. I took it home and repainted the whole frame and the tongue, and the whole trailer looked brand new with the black stripe, the red frame and tongue. And here I am trying to figure out how 3 people are going to camp inside a 4x8 sheet of plywood camper. There's my daughter testing her bed. There's it all stowed away. So I built an ATV rack so we could put 2 quads up on the rack and 1 on the tailgate. This is a little scary for me, But that rack worked out great, and we used it for several years, even when it was just my son and I, just so we had a lot more storage in the bed. The last thing was to make this thing waterproof, because I had heard a storm was coming. So I did this the day before we went camping with the three of us, and it rained all night that night. But it was dry enough with the Flex Seal that it never leaked. And there's the finished camper. We had a ton of fun making this camper. We added a tongue box here to put supplies in. It was easy to move around. You could load it in the garage and then hook it up the next day. You could load it in the comfort of your garage. You could put the bikes on the back, hook it up the next day. This was my four-wheel drive Dodge that we ended up using. But we did, after about 5 years, realize it's just getting a little too small. So, surprise, we bought this camper a couple years ago. And this is the camper that we're using today. I ended up selling the 4x8 camper to a gentleman with 4 girls that lived in New Mexico. He drove out and bought it and took it home. Him and his wife stay in the back of his truck camper, and the girls stay in the tiny camper. It worked out perfectly. If you'd like to see the entire build on this video, I have a playlist right here on this channel, as well as a couple other videos showing us going through our new camper and improving and repairing many things. And then of course using it and camping with it. If you like camping videos, project videos, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.